This is the story of a road trip through the American West, a journey that began in the neon lights of Las Vegas and led us across cities, deserts, and mountains. We walked the streets of San Francisco, stood by the Golden Gate, and felt the rush of the Pacific in Los Angeles and San Diego. We explored the quiet giants of Yosemite, the red rocks of Zion, the endless skies of Joshua Tree, and the breathtaking cliffs of Bryce Canyon. Every mile on the road brought something new. Every stop held a memory waiting to be made. This wasn't just about places on a map. It was about the journey itself. And this is how it felt. But this isn't just a travel film. It's our vlog. Along the way, I'll share tips, tricks, and what we learned, so you can use them to plan your own trip. And if you're looking for something specific, I've added timestamps, so you can jump right to the parts that matter most to you. So, let's hit the road. Our flight is going from Nuremberg Airport in Germany to Las Vegas, where we will start our road trip. Since there is no direct flight, we're having a 5H layover in Amsterdam. The journey is very long and exhausting. We will be awake at least 28H, making about 9,000 kilometers or 6,000 miles long distance to our home. But now let's start at the beginning, the airport. Boarding, taxiing, taking off, enjoying the amazing view, landing, taxiing to the gate, waiting, boarding, taxiing to the farthest runway possible, taking off again, enjoying the stunning view to the desert, landing with a view to Vegas, and finally made it. Pretty exhausting, really, but the day has not ended yet. We need to take a shuttle to the rental cars first, and now choose a car. Finally done with that, and already getting USA vibes. And there's the famous sphere. And now a few scenes from a strip. The famous water fountain. And these refreshing water thingies. It's really ho there, and the water is just so angelant. That's inside the Planet Hollywood, our hotel, but it looks everywhere like this. For dinner, or rather breakfast, we had Dave's hot chicken bites. So delicious. Good morning, guys. Had some good rest. Unlike spheres, it seems, the sun is raising and it looks fantastic. Now, real breakfast. The boulevards, as large streets and cities are called, are so empty, but so big. We're going to Death Valley today, so let's get back onto the streets early. Ascending planes? Always Southwest Airlines. Never seen another airline taking off in Vegas. Brief stop at the Las Vegas sign to take some pictures. And here's some time lapses of us just driving. We stopped at a Walmart supercenter to get lots of water and cookies, since it can get really dangerous without enough water in the Death Valley, called Death Valley for A.R. Eason, you know? And after driving just straight for a long time, we have finally reached the Death Valley National Park sign. Made it! After another few hours or so, we made it to this beautiful place. You can't miss it. There's just one road in Death Valley. We hiked up like many other people. It was worth it. It looked amazing, but the heat was just incredible. Always take a bottle of water with you when leaving the car. In the middle of Death Valley are a few little oases. Look surreal. Lots of palm trees in middle of desert and extreme heat. Here's our hotel too. Not proud that we supported this kind of tourism, but you don't really have a choice when traveling through Death Valley. Nearby is the visitor center. Look at the temperature, 116 degrees Fahrenheit or 47 Celsius. Unbelievable. We bought the National Park Pass. We will need it several times. You'll see and visited the little museum, which was pretty interesting. No one would probably think that, but here are a few attractions. We're driving to them now. Earth's lowest point. Well, kind of. Earth's lowest point, which is not underwater. Up there is sea elevation. And here's a saying, which reminds you to not do stupid things, since help might be hours away. We took some pictures, and we're happy to get back in the car with AC. On the way back, we chose the mountainous road. And here a quick reminder, here's sea level. We drove to the hotel to get some food, and then after sunset we drove away from the lights and tried to see the Milky Way. Due to our luck, it was cloudy after a few minutes and it vanished, but I got one semi-good picture. We're leaving Death Valley and driving very long to Yosemite National Park. The first quick stop is at the sand dunes. And then there's nothing at all but heat, sand, stones, and the roads. Until we arrived at gas station, one of 3 in Death Valley. Another while later, we got to a military training area. Pause if you want to read it. Emotional story. Now we are in a small city, which looks very American. We had lunch and then continued. As you see, the vegetation is getting greener. Yosemite, here we come. And not to forget, mountains. Many of them. After entering Yosemite National Park, which was very quick since we already bought the pass, we went through it, left it, and finally arrived at Out Hotel in Mariposa, which is around 1H away from the center, but finding a hotel is pretty hard, so we needed to go this way. You better get to the entry early if you don't want to waste your time with waiting in a queue. We parked the car and then took the free shuttle to have a ride to the mature attraction points. This mountain, El Capitan, is really famous. is so difficult climbing up there. Maybe that's why you didn't spot any crazy person who actually did that. Here's the map. Let's go hiking to see a waterfall, the Vernal Fall to be specific. The hike is longer than we thought, and because of the heat, it's exhausting too. We hiked at least 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes for that view. A lit waterfall very far away, which is almost out of water. At least we saw lots of squirrels. They're begging for food and are not afraid of humans for sure. But don't feed them. Your food is not good for them. After having a snack at Curry Village, we went back to the bus station and hiked to Yosemite Falls. Yeah, no water again. It's not worth it in summer. Only hike there in spring, winter, or maybe fall. Disappointed us driving back to the car. We're going somewhere with a spectacular view. The drive is uphill and very curvy. And here we are, the famous Yosemite picture, and the view will get even better, but first we need to drive another 30 minutes. That must have been wildfires. What a great view. That's the waterfall we hiked to earlier. Oh, one of them, there are two. Here's another viewpoint, the so-called Glacier Point. No glacier, sadly, but you can see the famous Half Dome. Now we're driving back and hoping to see a bear, just like in old times in Canada, remember? After arriving at the parking lot for the Mariposa Grove, we saw this sign, keep the 1.9 in mind, and started hiking. Here's a question. The 1.9 after Mariposa Grove means A, B, C, D. Correct is answer E. So it's 1.9 miles until the hike to Mariposa Grove starts. We did not know that. No one told us. Forget about it. And let's try to enjoy the hike. We saw some deers, probably because it's late. It's already 6:30 p.m. and wildlife starts getting more actively. So do bears, right? After hiking for, not gonna lie, at least 1 hour, we were curious if we were walking the right way, and I checked Google Maps, and it said that we're gonna need to walk another 2.3 miles, or 1H. So we walked 3 miles just to walk another 2 miles. This sign is so stupid, never trust these guys. However, we saw a great sunset on the drive back home. As you can see, the color of the grass has changed. We've been on the road for about an hour and a half, heading towards San Francisco. Along the way, we passed countless agricultural fields. California is often called the nation's orchard. It produces a huge part of America's fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Now we're getting closer. We decided to take a detour to the famous North Lookout before entering San Francisco via the Golden Gate Bridge. But oh no, fog. When we arrived at the viewpoint, we didn't even bother to stop and just continued. It's pretty obvious why. On the other hand, it's not that obvious that this here is the Golden Gate Bridge. Inside San Francisco, the weather was way better. And just look at those streets. This is a Waymo, a self-driving car. So cool. Later that day, we explored more of the city. It feels a bit like New York City at times. Tall buildings, even some skyscrapers, and lots of scaffolding. And yes, we spotted even more Waymos cruising around. Finally, here's the view from our hotel room at night. This time, we didn't walk, we ordered a lift. First stop, one of the piers, Pier 39, popular with tourists. But the real highlight we wanted to see was somewhere else, Alcatraz Island. We had to wait a few minutes for boarding, since the crew goes first. There it is. Looks small from here, right? Over there, the Golden Gate Bridge, still shrouded in fog. Here we go. We've landed. That's the entrance to the cell block. This clip shows the inside. A normal cell. And then that one, the cell of a prisoner who dug a hole in the wall and escaped with another inmate. The audio guide was really interesting. Of course, I didn't film much. I wanted to soak in the moment. Back outside, we got a view of San Francisco skyline. After a little exploring, we rode back to the piers and walked through Pier 39. Not really my scene, way too many tourists. Definitely not the real city life I wanted to experience. After lunch, we headed to Lombard Street and its gardens. If you don't know it yet, you'll see soon. It's a winding street going downhill. I tried filming with my tripod, and here's a pic. Ultra-wide lens, not much better. Like typical tourists, we wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge up close, so we ordered a Waymo. Not easy with a European Google or Apple account, but it worked. The car started driving. took a turn completely on its own, braked, and accelerated smoothly, scanned everyone on the streets and sidewalks. And stopped exactly where we wanted. And then, finally, the Golden Gate Bridge in all its glory. We took some pictures and walked to the nearby viewpoint, which I liked even more. Definitely a highlight of the day. To save some money, we hopped on a bus to Alamo Square, those famous painted houses. We grabbed coffee and pizza, then ordered another Waymo back to the hotel to relax for a while. Wow, it turned so smoothly. After chilling, we walked through Union Square and ended up in a free rooftop garden, which honestly wasn't that exciting. The walk back gave me serious New York vibes. You saw that right. We're at the Google HQ. At least I think it's the HQ. Definitely the visitor experience. First time in a Google store for me. They even sell merch. Nothing much more to see here, so let's head to Apple's HQ. Oh, and I bought a t-shirt. The next big stop is Los Angeles, but it would be a long drive, so we're splitting it half today, half tomorrow. First, we're stopping in Monterey for lunch. The very famous Highway 1 was sadly closed after a few miles. But since it's an important part of today's plan, we drove a little stretch and then turned back. Looks amazing, right? That's why we wanted to drive at least a few miles there. Another viewpoint. Check out the whole landscape like this. Oh, almost forgot. That's a famous bridge for a reason. I think it was built in 1936. Not 100% sure though. And now, all the way back. Totally worth it. Speaking of driving in the US, big cities like Las Vegas or Los Angeles often have more than 3 lanes per road, which can be really confusing. On highways, you have to watch the lanes carefully, or you might end up on an exit or an express lane that only paid users can access. And then there are carpool lanes. You can drive there if your car has 2 or more passengers, which is actually super useful in traffic jams. Quick gas stop. Gas here usually costs $3, $6 per gallon, depending on the location. Cheaper in the desert, often pricier in cities. Later, we watched a beautiful sunset that lasted surprisingly long. That's our room, by the way. More of a motel than a hotel, but it works. Let's start with breakfast. Today we're driving to LA via Malibu. The landscape has changed a lot. Cities, mountains, and then coastlines. First, a quick stop for some fast food in this town. I love that there are palm trees everywhere. It really gives off summer vibes. I'm heading to Dave's Hot Chicken right now. Got the Dave's Bites, French fries, and a Dr. Pepper. So good. Continuing on, we spotted a military base with airplanes, super cool. Then we stopped at a parking lot next to the street to enjoy the view. Far off, I noticed some structures, must have been oil rigs. So many of them. Finally, Malibu. We parked in a lot about 10-15 minutes walk away, since the closer one was full. Walked along the pier, and of course saw lots of airplanes in the sky. And there's Los Angeles' skyline. Honestly, it's not really worth going to Malibu if you're not hitting the beach. It's kind of boring. In LA itself, we parked our car for $15 a day in front of this famous pier. Any GTA 5 players will recognize almost everything. We definitely did. That pier is Venice Beach. I think everyone knows it. The waves are insane, so long. The airspace is crazy busy too. We didn't stay to relax at the beach since it's our only day in LA and there's so much more to see. Next up, traffic in LA. Surprisingly, it wasn't too bad. The most annoying part? Those stop signs. You know the type from TV shows? Lots of streets look exactly like this. I recognized it from The Rookie. It took us almost an hour to drive from Venice Beach to the Walk of Fame. It doesn't seem like it on the map. But we made it, and it was amazing. It felt strange that it was pretty empty. Lots of people trying to sell stuff, but definitely fewer tourists than expected. It was getting late, so we rushed to see the Hollywood sign in daylight. The drive was incredible. I felt like I knew every street thanks to Los Santos, the map from GTA 5. By the time we arrived, the sun was already setting, another stunning sunset. And there's the Hollywood sign. So cool. We decided to hike up a bit. The view of the sunset from above was even better. The city lights looked amazing too. No camera can capture like your own eyes. Checking into the hotel late is kind of routine now. It's already 8 p.m. 1 or 2 days with long drives can be really stressful, especially with so much to see. If you're planning a trip like this, leave plenty of space between the main stops. I'm really going to miss these sunsets. And now, time for bed. Before heading to San Diego, we needed to tick off the last items on our LA bucket list. We're getting closer to Beverly Hills, a rich, stylish district. That's exactly what I mean. We walk around a bit, and no, we didn't actually buy anything. That reflection in the glass looked kind of cool. By the way, I think over there is the Rookie intro location. We snapped a few pics. What kind of Waymo is that? Our next stop, In-N-Out Burger near LAX, a super famous plane spotting spot, even for non-av geeks. And wow, just incredible. So loud, so close, and you can literally feel the air move as the planes take off. Had to grab that classic picture everyone takes. before that, we actually went to Muscle Beach, but I forgot to film it. My bad. Now, we're heading toward Newport Beach. Right now, we're on the carpool lane, which is slightly faster for us at the moment. We walked along one of the piers, just enjoying the ocean and watching some surfers or whatever you want to call them. If you love soft serve as much as we do, you'll find it here, but it was actually kind of hard finding someone serving it. Then, we drove on to San Diego. Nothing too exciting on the way, so I didn't record much. You can definitely feel the Mexican influence here. It sometimes felt like we were actually in Mexico. Cybertrucks aren't as rare as in Europe. You see them all the time here. In San Diego, we explored a bit and found some stairs, wondering what the view would be like from up top. So we walked all those stairs. And honestly, it was worth it. Another sunset, the harbor, and Mexico in the distance. The thought that we were almost in Mexico was crazy. And the aircraft carriers, so many of them, since San Diego is a Navy base. After our little exploring tour, we had dinner at Houston, Texas Hot Chicken, kind of like Dave's Hot Chicken, and I love them all. And check out that sunset again. On the way back, we passed a street artist. So many of them are really talented. In the morning, we visited the USS Midway aircraft carrier, a real one that was actually in service. It was fascinating, especially thanks to the audio guide and retired U.S. Navy soldiers who answered all our questions. Some of them even worked on this carrier for many years. And now, check this out. 1 aircraft carrier? No 2. 3. 4. I had lunch at Chick-fil-A, and then we drove toward Palm Springs. Can you believe it? It rained for 2 hours this morning. August, 0 rain days usually, and we already got 2. Later, it rained a bit again in the evening. And now, as we arrive in the desert, it's pouring. What the heck? We had planned to drive through Joshua Tree National Park, and we're doing it no matter what the road looks like. Spoiler, gravel everywhere. It's amazing to see so many cacti. The best part about the weather? We're almost the only people here, so we can enjoy nature in peace. The smell. I can't really describe it. It's just special. What does this rock remind you of? Right, a skull. That's why it's called Skull Rock. I had the idea to check under these stones and found more stones, climbing a bit higher. I saw even more stones. Who would have thought? Honestly, I still don't really know what a Joshua tree looks like. Maybe it's this one? The vibe was incredible. No one around us, just nature everywhere. But like everything else, it had to end, so we drove to Palm Desert. On the way, we saw a coyote and storm clouds gathering. The sun was setting and shining on a mountain. Had to stop quickly to take in that stunning view. Back on the highway, we hit a traffic jam, but luckily made it out fast enough to catch the rest of the sunset. We grabbed some pizza and then called it a day at our hotel. Today we're driving all the way to the Grand Canyon, around 6.5 hours, so it's going to be a really long drive. Normally, with our European SIM cards, we'd have to pay way too much for data. But luckily we had Airlo. Their ESIMs are super handy and made staying connected so easy. Plus, if you use my code Alessi0288, you get €3 off, and I also get €3 off my next purchase. It's a win-win, and you save money on your trip too. Thanks for the support, and enjoy the rest of the vlog. Honestly, there's not much else to say. It's a pretty boring drive. The only highlights were seeing Route 66 printed on the road and stopping in Kingman, a city in the middle of nowhere. We went to a diner, visited the visitor center, and took some photos at the Route 66 signs. Now we're slowly approaching the best part of the day. The landscape shifts from desert to greener areas. Before entering Grand Canyon National Park, we spotted some wildlife and got a little intro about the canyon itself. And then, the highlight, the Grand Canyon. We arrived during sunset, and it was absolutely mesmerizing. We were just so grateful to be there, and stayed until it got dark. Later, we arrived at our motel, but that's obviously no excuse to skip the gym, right? At least not for me. And same goes for pizza. Today was definitely not a pizza skip day. Oh guys, something really special is happening today. Oh yeah, you saw it right. We're flying over the Grand Canyon. That's going to be our route. And there's our plane, a de Havilland Canada DHC 6-300 Twin Otter. Time for boarding. The windows are huge. Grand Canyon Airlines specially designed this aircraft for their flights. We hit a lot of turbulence. And there it is. Wow. You're about to see a time lapse of half the flight, so fasten your seatbelts, please. They also had an audio guide, and the captain shared some info along the way. I love that the cockpit had no door at all. Pretty interesting. Turbulence again. Sadly, just as fast as it started, it ended. That's why I love seeing the cockpit. Touchdown. After that incredible flight, we checked out some viewpoints on the ground. That peak over there, you remember it? We were just flying over it. Driving northbound, the Grand Canyon gradually became greener. Then we drove right next to the mountains. Sometimes there were tiny villages and a few locals sold homemade items. After climbing a mountain, we enjoyed this stunning view. Next up, Horseshoe Bend. Parking costs $10, and the walk to the viewpoint is pretty exhausting in summer. We walked about 20 minutes, which was fine, but walking back in sun with just a couple of shaded spots, not so fine. They even put up a warning at the start of the hike about extreme heat. Luckily, we made it safely to the viewpoint. The crazy thing? Down there are people. Absolutely wild. After returning to the car, we stopped at a gas station. Behind it, a cave or something. I'm not sure what to call it. Call what you want. We grabbed some fast food and continued driving until we stopped again at two signs, Utah and Arizona. That's the border and also a new time zone. Utah is just 8 hours behind European time, while Arizona and the other states we visited like California and Nevada were 9 hours behind. Once again, we didn't reach our hotel before sunset. The drives are just so long. And what the heck is a cow doing here? Where was I? Oh yeah, I wanted to say that Tropic, the city, or maybe village is a better word, has no open restaurants. So we went to this one place, like many other people, and waited for hours. Bryce Canyon. Today, yeah, there are plenty of parking lots, so you'll definitely find one, but you might have to walk a bit farther like we did. The first view of Bryce Canyon was already great. The second viewpoint? Absolutely spectacular. It gave us the motivation to hike even more. Honestly, this was my favorite hike, and here's why. The trail winds through giant rock formations, and for some reason, even trees grow there. The rocks had this amazing color, somewhere between yellow and red. The camera didn't capture it perfectly, but it's pretty close. Peaks were everywhere, or however you want to call them. From a distance, it actually reminded me a lot of the mesa biome in Minecraft. We hiked the Queen's Garden Trail, since our parking spot was in that direction anyway. If we had taken a short trail, we would have had to walk back through the woods, so obviously we chose this option. This next clip is from miles away from the last one, the entry of Zion National Park. I made a time lapse of the landscape. Here it is. Right now, we're in a tunnel, but the view on the other side is incredible. Amazing. You really need to drive there yourself to understand why it's so cool. We've arrived at our hotel. Gotta show it to you, since this is still a vlog and I haven't shown the hotels yet, right? My bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, another bedroom upstairs and a balcony. Let's explore Springdale, the town near Zion, a bit more on foot. We picked up some groceries, and at night we found a spot selling delicious ice cream. That's the view here in Zion. Today, we're taking the shuttle to visit all the main sites. By the way, at many bus stations, there are water fountains where you can refill your bottle easily. This one was broken, but luckily some still work. We took the Red Line shuttle to the visitor center where they checked our national park pass, and then we could hop on the free shuttle. We got off at the last station and are now heading back, stop by stop. Honestly, there's not much to see besides mountains and a river, though many people did a river walk, or whatever it's called. That's station number 8. Again, just mountains and the river. And that's, well, I don't know. That's not a mistake, I would say. Why? That's why. We hike miles in this heat. The trail signs were wrong again, just like at Mariposa Grove. We ended up hiking at least twice as far, but this time there was only one path, so no way to get lost. Never trust these signs, guys. Finally, we reached Emerald Falls. Almost out of water again. That's why I didn't want to do this hike. Hiking in summer is brutal. The heat, the effort, everything is just so annoying. Wildlife spotted again. After some rest and food at Zion Lodge, we stopped somewhere else and enjoyed the view we'd been seeing all day. We relaxed for a few hours at our place, hotel or house, maybe both, and then bought something cool. What do you think? That little addition bumped the view from an 8-10 to a solid 10-10, right? The sun is setting, and now we're walking to a pizza restaurant. In this night, I finally reached 9,000 trophies in Clash Royale. Okay, no one of you cares, I know. When we left Zion, we took one last look at its mountains. We also came across a street lined with American flags every 10 meters or so. Why? Can someone explain that? About an hour later, we reached the first city. Our plan: crumble cookies and Chick-fil-A. After that, we drove to Las Vegas. These were the last miles with our beloved car, which we returned at the airport. But the trip isn't over yet. We took a lift to our hotel, the Venetian, and here's our room. This hotel is insanely huge, over 8,000 rooms. That's why there are north and south towers, and getting around is tricky. It took us at least 10 minutes just to get from our room to the exit. They even have an outdoor pool in the desert. As a European, it feels so unnecessary. Such a waste of water. We walked to our old hotel, the Planet Hollywood, and grabbed lunch. In the evening, we went to a David Copperfield show. No filming allowed, but the tricks were amazing. Definitely one of the highlights of the whole trip. On the way back, we stumbled upon a mini New York replica. Just walking through the streets of Las Vegas feels great. It's warm, but not too hot. I love it. The Venetian is located differently from the Planet Hollywood, which is right on the strip. Here, you have to walk at least 20 minutes. Right now it's night and cooler than earlier, but tomorrow, that's going to be a problem. We're currently walking through the Venetian Casino toward the Sphere. There it is. It can't be that hard to get there, right? So close. Well, we didn't find a way. We wandered through parking garages and streets under the blazing sun. So we eventually gave up and walked back. Suddenly, I started feeling really bad, dizzy, and almost faint. That's why we had to take a break in the hotel, where it was air-conditioned, and we drank plenty of water and ate a small snack. I obviously didn't film that, so there's a big jump here. Right now, we're at the Eiffel Tower. We had a meal at Planet Hollywood, the only place where food isn't ridiculously overpriced. And then walked back to the Venetian. Southwest Airlines. Back at the hotel, I worked out in the gym since I was feeling much better again. Look at that equipment. It's like a dream. I love working out there. I grabbed a milkshake, then ordered a lift to a street in North Vegas. There was super loud music, overpriced food, and tons of lights. Honestly, I didn't like it there at all. This evening, we're flying back, so let's enjoy our last hours in Vegas. We visited Caesar's Palace, Cosmopolitan, Bellagio, and a few others. The highlight, and I mean negative, was the Bellagio fountains. That's so much water. With this heat, it feels like such a waste. Why do they even do this? Terrible. Bye-bye Strip. Hello, Venetian. It's crazy. They even have escalators outside because walking upstairs would be too exhausting. After picking up our luggage from the service, we took a lift to the airport. Once there, we returned it and went through TSA. Yes, you definitely know you're in Vegas. Slot machines, even at the airport. And there's our plane, again a Boeing 777. Time to finally head home. One surprise awaited us. Those lights always look so amazing. If you think so too, wait until we fly over the Strip. There's the Sphere. Flying over Las Vegas was truly mesmerizing. We were lucky with the weather, so clear. Earlier, we didn't get much luck, rain clouds, but now, finally, perfect conditions. And that's not all. Another crazy thing happened. A thunderstorm in the desert during our flight? Must be pretty rare, and guess what? We saw it. It caused quite a bit of turbulence. After a few hours of rough sleep, we woke up over the Atlantic, spotting container ships and the Dutch coastline. We landed, rushed through passport control to catch our next flight, only to find it was delayed by an hour.